Hey guys, it's Jenny. Erin asked me how you can create a breast milk storage supply while not messing up your feedings with baby. And although I'm sure there's tons and tons of ways to do this, I'll just share with you the ways that I did, that worked for me and that I've heard have worked for other people. So what worked for me best was to pump after he woke up in the morning and nursed. So that's when you usually have your, the most milk, the best milk. And okay, I'll give you a little bit of history on this as to what a lactation consultant told me. Historically, the way our bodies worked and, just were created was to create more milk during the night when we're laying down, when we're sleeping, when baby is just there nursing nonstop. So that is when baby is technically supposed to eat the most, and also is why your milk is supposedly richer during the night and early morning hours. If you think back to a long time ago, during the day, women were out working in the field, just like wearing baby and that type of thing. So they weren't able to nurse as much, or out harvesting or whatever it may be. Don't get on me and be like, they were actually doing this, but I hope you catch my drift. So we create more milk at night for that reason, basically. At least that's what I was told by a lactation consultant that I really trust. And it totally and completely 100% makes sense to me, because I'm one who wakes up with the most milk in the morning. So even if he nurses all night long. So anyways, that's my little history. That's what I believe. You might think I'm crazy, but it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, please explain to me otherwise. But it makes sense to me. So aside from that, that is when you have the most milk. So after Deacon would wake up in the morning, I would nurse him if he hadn't already been nursing, because we do close sleep, and I would then pump immediately after. That way, my body's resetting, I have that extra milk, and he's eaten in full. So that's what worked best for me. That feeding may for you be at some different time during the day. Say, she's sleeping really long for her nap, or, she's going to take a long nap, so you can, nurse and then pump, or whatever it may be. Keep in mind, though, that you're going to be creating a larger demand. In turn, your body's going to be creating a bigger supply. So you're going to have to keep up with that supply. And that kind of can be touchy. So if you're just trying to save up, maybe 10, 20 ounces in your freezer, just to have as like a backup, then I would just do, an ounce here or there, or, a couple ounces here or there. And that way you're not going to make your body think, okay, we need to really start creating more milk, or producing more milk. Something that I used to go to support groups, as you guys know, and I've occasionally still gone just because it's nice. If you haven't ever been, I highly recommend it, even if everything's peachy keen. Just to be around a bunch of other breastfeeding moms and supportive people is really helpful. But what was I saying? Oh, one of the girls was a die-hard, and I have to give her props for this, because it's just crazy. Her baby would sleep, I think it was like 5 hours or so a stretch during the night. So she'd set her alarm every night. I think it was like 2 a.m. Wake up and pump. And that was how she created her supply in the freezer. So again, though, she created that demand. So if you're a diehard, have at that. But otherwise, I would just pump a little bit here and there after feedings and, create that stash. And don't freak out about, okay, well then my stash is going to be gone, because if you're away from baby, you need to be pumping when baby's eating, just to keep that, that hand in hand, that supply and demand right there and equal. So anyhow, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, or if anybody has any other questions, let me know. I'm not an expert, but I have almost 19 months under my belt, so I know a little bit, and I've been through almost all of it, so hopefully I can help somebody out there. But yeah, good luck, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.